Before anything, we need to acknowledge the Spartan lawgiver Lycurgus. According to historical records, he traveled to a myriad of places to observe, consulted the oracle, and formulated these laws enacted in ancient Sparta. A point of note: the laws of ancient Sparta formulated by Lycurgus is known as the Retra. One of the main laws of Lycurgus is never to have written law except the one written on the heart. I dare say ancient Sparta might have been the first communist state, as you shall see presently. Whether they succeeded or not, Sparta reigned supreme, was renowned and respected across Greece for 500 years. They only declined in power due to outside influences, the influx of wealth and gold and luxury, the very thing Lycurgus frowned upon. This is the real Sparta. Before Lycurgus, Sparta was a normal state. The currency, wealth as in gold or silver, inequality, the whole enchilada. But gradually Lycurgus changed everything. Sparta discouraged individualism. Personal ambition was viewed suspiciously. The collective mattered more than the individual. There was equality among Spartan citizens. Land was supposedly redistributed equally under Lycurgus. Purpose, you may ask? Reduce class conflict and maintain unity. Though Sparta had no walls, you cannot walk into Sparta without having good reason to be there. Foreign influence was restricted, censorship in modern terms. North Korea comes to mind. You might suggest xenophobia, and for good reason. Didn't your mama tell you not to talk to strangers? Spartans discouraged foreign luxuries and ideas, purpose of which to preserve Spartan culture and avoid moral corruption. Travel abroad was limited. Spartans rarely traveled freely. This prevented foreign influence and maintained discipline. Music was used for military discipline. Spartans marched to flute music, which helped synchronize movement and maintain calm during battle. In essence, war was treated like a coordinated ritual. Let's talk about the food and daily life of the Spartan. Spartan men ate together in military dining groups or the communal mess halls. Everything was strict, no private luxury dining, equality, brotherhood, and military cohesion in practice. The famous black broth was the traditional Spartan soup. Pigs, blood, vinegar, and salt, and some flesh or meat. Some of the matured Spartans usually have the broth and leave the meat to the young ones to feast on. Other Greeks reportedly hated it, but Spartans viewed luxury food as weakness. Sparta fed its warriors simplicity and called it strength. It's reported that after gulping down this black broth, they are encouraged to walk home in the dark without lights, since it trains them to match vigorously in the dark in wartime. Excessive decoration and wealth were frowned upon. This helps to reduce greed, preserve equality, and prevent corruption. Tradition says Lycurgus introduced heavy iron money, which in economic sense is highly inflated and of less value, which means you will need more for a simple purchase at the market, a horse-drawn cart perhaps. This is meant to discourage hoarding and discourage trade and luxury. To add to the difficulty, the minted heavy iron coin was dipped in vinegar while red hot to prevent any remodeling or recasting, rendering it useless. Whether fully historical or symbolic, it reflects Spartan ideals. The Cryptia is a secretive institution linked to young Spartan elites, possibly used to terrorize helots. Purpose: intimidation, internal control, and preparation for violence, one of the darkest aspects of Spartan society. Helots were humiliated publicly. They were sometimes forced into degrading acts. This, the Spartans believe, reinforces their superiority and to warn citizens against weakness and drunkenness. Boys were removed from their families. At around age 7, boys entered the agoge. In Sparta, the state, not the parents, raised them. This ensures absolute discipline and loyalty to Sparta above family. In Sparta, even childhood belonged to the state. As part of their training, boys were intentionally starved. The Spartan youths received little food. They were expected to steal to survive. This is believed to encourage cunning, stealth, and survival instincts. However, They were punished if caught. Failure, not theft, was shameful. Spartan youths often went barefoot to toughen the body, improve movement over rough terrain. They were offered minimal clothing in winter and summer. A Spartan boy often wore one cloak all year round. This teaches endurance against discomfort and resistance to cold and hardship. They slept on reeds gathered by hand by themselves from riverbanks. Bedding was deliberately crude to prevent softness and encourage toughness. Spartans were trained to speak briefly and sharply. This created the term laconic speech. Purpose, discipline of thought, emotional restraint, and efficiency. To add to the rigor of Spartan life and training, there were public floggings, where the youths who endured without crying excelled and held in high esteem. This is meant to encourage pain tolerance and courage. Contrary to other Greek city-states, Spartan women trained physically and exercised publicly. Activities include running, wrestling, and throwing of the discus. According to the Retra of Lycurgus, this helps to produce healthy offspring and thus strengthen the society. The marriage by capture ritual. This topic we have covered in one of our videos on the channel. Indeed, it is true. The symbolic bride capture ceremonies existed. Brides' heads were sometimes shaved. Possible theories or purposes include transition into disciplined married life, symbolic toughness, etc. Husbands visited secretly at night. Sometimes they have children before they even met in broad daylight. Young husbands often lived in barracks. In Sparta, cowardice was social death. Cowards could lose status and honor. They were publicly shamed, sometimes denied marriage and mocked publicly. Death in battle was honorable. The Spartan culture glorified discipline and sacrifice, especially dying in formation and not abandoning comrades. The Spartan shields were sacred. Losing armor might be tolerated. Losing a shield was disgraceful, because the shield protected the battle formation and fellow Spartans. The shield was not merely protection, it was responsibility.